Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today we're talking about when you walk away. So what happens then when you decide that you're going to be walking away and basically going into no contact with someone that you had a romantic connection with, or even it can even be with friends and family too, when you've got to the point of, okay, I need to walk away from this person. I need to distance myself from this person. So what happens? So there's some things that, and most of these things are things that happen to you, okay? Because it's all about your mindset, okay? So one of these things is that when you walk away, it changes your energy from desperation to wholeness, okay? And what I mean by that is that you are feeling you're lacking nothing, okay? You're lacking nothing. You don't need that person in your life. You go from this place of lack to abundance, okay? So why is this important? So one of the reasons why you may have been clinging on to this person in the past is through this desperation and this need to have them in your life, okay? And unfortunately, when you are desperate, it lowers your self-esteem and how you feel about yourself. Because on some level, if someone isn't giving you the energy that you want, so let's say in a romantic sense, that this person isn't as interested in you as they once were, perhaps they dumped you, or perhaps they wronged you in some way, and you're feeling desperate for them, desperate to keep them in your life, and you're trying to cling on to them, on some level, you know instinctively that you shouldn't be doing this. That it's not the self-respecting thing to do, to stick around and keep yourself in someone's life who doesn't want you there. So when you decide that you're going to walk away, you're displaying strength, you're displaying self-respect, and you're displaying to yourself that you don't need that person. You no longer need that person. So you develop this more sense of wholeness. Like, I don't need that person, so I'm happy to be on my own. I'm happy that this is just the way things are. And you've got into this stage where you're able to let go. And that's one of the best places you can be. When you know that you don't need anyone in your life, especially if it's just down to that one person, when you don't need anyone, when you're happy to just be on your own, you're happy to be single, it's great if you've got lovers and friends, of course that's really good, but it's also good to just be on your own, to just be a lone wolf for a bit. It doesn't bother you to be on your own because you like to keep the company of people that want you in their life, okay? So you go from this place of desperation to wholeness, where you feel like you're lacking nothing, okay? And that is a great place for you to be. So another thing, which I've kind of touched on a little bit already, is you start to radiate self-respect. And because you're respecting yourself by walking away, because you know that this person doesn't want you in their life, they don't want you, but you're not going to try and push yourself in that person's life if they don't want you. So you walk away, and that shows self-respect. It's showing to yourself that you have self-respect because you're not bothering with them anymore, okay? You're going to go and find people that do want you in their life, that you don't want to walk away from because they want you in their life also, where you feel like you don't have to do anything like no contact or anything along those lines. You want to find people who are enthusiastic about you and you're enthusiastic about them, whether that's lovers, friends, family, you're finding people who are your tribe, basically. So you're going to hang around and want to hang out with those people that do value you. And trust me, it's way more fun. Life is so much more stress-free when you are just surrounding yourself with people who truly want to be there. Who truly want to be there and respect you and love you and cherish you and value you as a human being. And you've got to walk away from all these people that are not displaying that behavior, or at least spend less time with them. Because I know when it comes to family members, you can't always cut them out completely, but you can distance yourself. You can always distance yourself from someone, okay? And just gravitate and find new friends, new people to have in your life, new lovers, so you can feel more abundant and more happy with life. Because when you're around people that truly want you, it just makes things a lot easier, okay, and less difficult. And there's also a lot less drama as well. Like if you're on a good level with pretty much everyone in your life, and it's all good because they love you and you love them, you know, it's all good. It's brilliant, right? So, and a byproduct of that, because you've got that amount of self-respect, you've got not that amount, but you've got the amount of self-respect, a good amount of self-respect, where you're not going to tolerate anyone in your life who isn't showing enthusiasm for you and loves you and cares about you and respects you. And you radiate that, and you really feel that on a level like, you know, I'm not going to hang out with that person anymore. I'm not going to continue chasing my ex. I'm not going to do any of that anymore. I'm going to just gravitate and talk to people that do actually want me in their life. It shows self-respect, but because you are showing self-respect to yourself by making those choices, other people in your life, whether they respected you in the past or not, begin to respect you more, right? So what you're always searching for, internal feelings, these internal feelings of self-respect and confidence, and developing those within yourself. Because when you develop them within yourself, the outside world changes and the other people change to match your energy. Now there may be some resistance, because they'll be trying to behave in the same way that they've always behaved around you when you start displaying more self-respect. But eventually, if you hold your ground and you stay in that state of self-respect and not tolerating any of that kind of behavior, eventually they will just yield, okay? Or they'll just treat you with more respect, or they'll just fizzle out of your life completely. So there might be a bit of old conditioning there, which creates some resistance, but eventually they will yield, or they'll just not be in your life anymore. They'll just move once they realize that they can't manipulate you and control you in the same way that they once did. But developing self-respect is one of those things that's so cool, because once you respect yourself, then other people start to respect you. It's when you're desperate to get other people's respect, right? You're seeking other people's validation, other people's respect, that you actually don't get it. But when you respect yourself, then everyone else seems to respect you. Okay? So the last point that I want to make in this video is, don't be fooled. You don't need someone who doesn't want you. You don't need someone who doesn't want you. Now, you may be thinking, you know, because if, let's say you haven't walked away yet and you haven't gone into no contact yet, you might be still in this sort of area of desperation where you feel like you need them in your life. You don't need them. If they're not a positive impact on your life, and if they don't want you in their life, then you do not need them. You do not need them. I don't care how long you've been attached to them, whether it's romantically or whether it's like a friend thing or a family thing. You don't need them. You don't. You really, really do not need them. Okay, you never need someone who doesn't want you. You should always be trying to find people that do want you. And, you know, it's the same for things like jobs as well. You know, if you want to find a job that, you want to find a career where you're valued. Okay, so if you feel like you're not valued in your workplace for what you bring to the table, and you feel like you're being underpaid, or you're just treated as a number, then find a job that has a different sort of atmosphere, okay? Now, I know that can be a bit difficult, so don't quit your job, but, you know, but be sending out your resume and try or your CV or whatever, and be trying to create a better situation for yourself. Find a job where you're valued and you're wanted and you're seen, okay? And that philosophy applies to everything and everyone in your world. And when you do that, that's when things really start to get better, okay? And having people in your life that value you, respect you, have enthusiasm for you, if you can get every single person in your life, if you can find people who are like that and have only those kinds of people around you, life gets so much better. That you have a lot less anxiety, because I don't know about you, but if you know that someone doesn't like you, or someone just doesn't respect you, or they for some reason the energy is just off, and you just know that they're not enthusiastic about you for whatever reason, it makes you feel insecure. It makes you feel like you need to do something. It feels like you need to prove something to them. But if you have this attitude and you develop this mindset, that just disappears, and you're not even going to care about that person anymore. You're not even going to think about them, because you're now focused on finding and honing in on those people that do have enthusiasm for you. So this is what happens when you walk away. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.